Breath of the Wild's world is absolutely massive and is bursting with secrets. Some secrets are more obvious, some you may randomly encounter, but others you might have to go out of your way to search for. In this video, I want to reveal some of Breath of the Wild's secrets that you would have to go as far as to learn Japanese to discover. These secrets have become lost in the localization of the game, and thus are exclusive to the Japanese version. But first, let's talk about Link, our beloved hero who we have been on many adventures with over the years. In Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, Link is introduced to us as a silent knight, a skilled swordsman who is renowned for his fighting skills, courage, and his devotion to the royal family of Hyrule. Slowly but surely, Link is becoming much more expressive with his emotions as time progresses. In Breath of the Wild, there is a cutscene where we see Link and Zelda riding their horses together. At this moment, Zelda thanks Link for his advice on how to create a bond with her horse. This means that at some point Link must have shared his expertise on horses with Zelda in order to help her. To do that, he needs to speak, or at least write it down for her. Although we don't see this in game, it's very possible that Link directly spoke with Zelda here. So it's not like Link is incapable of speaking or of any communication at all, it's just that he chooses not to. But why? In Breath of the Wild, Link finally reveals to us his reasons as to why he has been remaining so silent. He never tells us directly, but from reading the pages in Zelda's diary, we can finally learn more about our hero of almost 35 years. You can find Zelda's diary in her study, and it's full of entries that discuss her relationship with Link. Zelda writes, "I never know what he's thinking. It makes my imagination run wild, guessing what he is thinking but will not say. What does the boy chosen by the sword that seals the darkness think of me? Will I ever truly know?" Just like us, Zelda also has absolutely no idea what Link is truly thinking, what's actually going through his mind. I mean, Link definitely is capable of expressing some kind of emotion. Happiness, pain, and even frustration or concern. When I finally got around to asking him why he's so quiet all the time, I could tell it was difficult for him to say, but he did. Link tells Zelda that the reason he doesn't speak is because he feels it's necessary to stay strong and to silently bear any burden. So actually our beloved protagonist has felt strong emotions all along. He had just decided to keep them all bottled up to himself in order to appear reliable and strong to Zelda. What else can we find out about Link? What does he really think of Zelda? Well, Link actually has an extensive character description in Breath of the Wild. We can find the answers to these questions and more, as Zelda and the King of Hyrule aren't the only ones with diaries. Link has written a diary of his own. So, Link's diary, where is it? Well, the truth is, it's been in front of us this whole time, just well hidden. Let's talk about the adventure log. Where did it come from, and who is writing it? Is it just being automatically updated? In the English version of the game, you might think it has to be the work of the Sheikah Slate, but actually, it's not anything to do with that. In the Japanese version of the game, however, the answer becomes clear. All of the entries in the adventure log are entries that Link has written himself to keep track of his own adventure. In the English version of the game, the journal entries are written in third person and refer to the reader as you. Upon loading up the Japanese version, instead of being written in third person, the journal entries are written in first person, from Link's perspective. All of the entries in the journal were written by Link, but the surprises aren't just limited to this. In his diary, Link doesn't just record his current objective, he also has written down some of his own thoughts and feelings. In the quest Captured Memories, for instance, once Link has been to all 13 locations and recovered his memory, you may recall the quest text looking a bit like this, with a lot of yous and yours. In comparison, the same quest in Japanese can be translated to something like this. I've travelled to all of the 13 places of recollection and have recovered my memories of everything I've been through and experienced together with Princess Zelda. In those very memories, Princess Zelda was always striving to do her very best. I want to hurry and rescue Princess Zelda as soon as possible and see her smile again with my own eyes. The quest text in the Japanese version essentially reintroduces Link to us as someone who has normal human emotions, rather than the silent knight or silent hero depicted through the games. Knowing that the adventure log belongs to Link as his diary, suddenly the seemingly trivial text reveals more hidden sides to our hero. Especially the last part, see her smile again with my own eyes. They completely omitted this from the English version. It's words like these that add so much more to Link's character. After Link has conquered the Lost Woods by not getting lost, he reaches the inner sanctum of the forest where he meets the Deku Tree who has been guarding the legendary sword of Evil's Bane. When Link has regained enough of his former strength, he pulls the Master Sword from its pedestal once more. After he obtains the Master Sword, the adventure log quest text for Hero's Sword in English reads like this. When comparing it to the Japanese version, it's quite similar, apart from one word which points towards more evidence of Link being the author. The Japanese word, jibun, can mean myself, or yourself, and it changes the text to a first person's narrative. This means that the text would read something like, I've acquired the Master Sword, the legendary blade of Evil's Bane. Somehow, I get the feeling that the sword itself is delighted that I've come to retrieve it. Zelda is still battling to suppress the evil Ganon at this very moment. She believes that I will definitely come for her. I wonder if, as I am now, am I really strong enough to save her? We can really get a feel for how strongly Link wants the power to be able to save Zelda. In the quest, Destroy Ganon, the last section in English is written as, your ultimate task is to aid Princess Zelda in defeating Ganon before that can happen, before Ganon destroys the world. In the Japanese version, the spirit of the King of Hyrule has told me that the land is on the verge of being obliterated. It won't be long until Princess Zelda reaches her limit in containing the destructive power of Ganon at Hyrule Castle. When she does, Ganon will completely regain his power and everything will come to an end. I really hope that I'll be able to save Princess Zelda before any of that happens. Link really wants to believe that he can stop Ganon in time, before Ganon completely regains his power and puts an end to everything. After falling once already, it's no surprise that he may have some doubt in his ability. You can do it, Link. After Link has helped establish Tarrey Town and after Hudson and Ronson are married, Link shows us his warm-hearted side. He is glad for other people's happiness. As a conclusion to From the Ground Up, he writes, I was given a bunch of gems from Hudson as a sign of his gratitude for everything that I've done for them so far. I wish those two can live in happiness together forever. The English version, like the others, is again written in third person and is directed at telling you, the player, that you wish the couple eternal happiness, rather than Link. In the quest, A Test of Will, Link is challenged by 3 Gorons to train his tolerance to extreme heat in an endurance contest. After besting the Gorons at their challenge, he records the events in his diary, adding a little of his own humour into the mix too. In his recorded entry, Link mimics the way Gorons speak by attaching Goro to the end of his sentences. In English, the Goro is replaced with brother, but I really like how Link tries to act like a Goron here. He says, that's too bad, Goro. What else does Link think about Zelda? Well, he thinks her voice is really pretty. In the quest, Follow the Sheikah Slate, which Link receives at the beginning of the game, he seems to quite like Zelda's voice. The last part of the quest text in English simply reads, From Hyrule Castle, off in the distance, you hear the woman's voice speaking to you again. In comparison, the Japanese version goes a little like this. From the top of that giant tower, I could once again hear a girl's beautiful voice coming from the castle that looks so far away. Follow the Sheikah Slate is another one of those quests that has had parts omitted in its English counterpart. The original is much more descriptive, and it allows us to finally connect with Link and his feelings. Most of the translation choices in Breath of the Wild do make a lot of sense. The Japanese language often omits pronouns and subjects, making it sometimes difficult to distinguish who is the author at times. However, there is no doubt that the English version has some omitted text, and in the Japanese version, Link has written down his feelings and thoughts about things. I do have to say though, that if you've ever played the game with English subtitles and Japanese voices, you'll probably come across the odd 1 or 2 translations that you'll be able to tell immediately are wrong or questionable. These lost secrets aren't just limited to the adventure log. There are plenty of cases where some content could have been translated a little differently. Like here when Daruk calls Link little guy when he's actually calling him his partner. I find things like this super interesting. I love that we can finally gain some more insight into Link's personality. What about you? What are your thoughts on this? If you would like to see more of this kind of content and learn more about Link, definitely let me know in the comment section below. On that note, this will be it from me today. I hope you found this video enjoyable, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see you soon!